Hello, beauty, and welcome back to the Empowered Podcast. My name is Deanna Deacon, your host, and I am currently burning some sage. If you're watching the video, you'll be able to see I have this beautiful shell that was a gift to me, and I've broken up a whole bunch of sage from a few different healers that have gifted it to me as well. And I'm just burning some of it so the smoke of the sage is here because sage has been found in many cultures to provide healing from energies that are causing us to stray away from our truth, which is love. And I wanted to burn some sage for this conversation because I'm going to be speaking about something that for many, many people, possibly including yourself, this topic has brought you away from the truth of you, which is love. Remember that every single human being is here as we are soul, and we are here as a physical manifestation of a human being, but that is the manifestation of our soul, and our soul is pure love, divine love, the highest frequency of pure beauty and peace. Okay? So, today is September 13th, 2021. Today is the day that in the province that I live in, British Columbia, Canada, the government is enforcing a mandate that anyone who does not have at least one of the COVID-19 vaccines is no longer allowed, no longer able to go into restaurants, to, I think, go into liquor stores, to attend weddings, to attend conferences, to attend events, even outdoor events. It's September. It's still nice weather. Even outdoor events, if you don't have at least that one vaccine, you are no longer able to participate in aspects of society. And regardless of whether you have a vaccine, maybe you have 2 shots of your vaccine, maybe you have no vaccine at all, wherever you land on that, that's not what this conversation is about. This conversation is about the separation that is being created by these mandates and by these choices. I believe that every single human being should be doing what is best for them, whether when that comes to getting a vaccine or not, when that comes to how they manage their health, when that comes to who they spend time with, when that comes to what they're doing for work, how they're spending their money. All of that should be coming from a place of pure empowerment within. Because remember how I mentioned every single one of us are soul. And we're manifested here into this physical body. So we have the innate wisdom of the universe within us. We know what we need. Sometimes we need some guidance and some support around us to find that. But ultimately, we are the ones that know the answers. We are the ones that know what is best for our bodies, that know what is best for us. So when I have always felt so proud to be Canadian and very proud to live in British Columbia. It is such a beautiful province. There's so much nature. It's really laid back. It's really relaxed. And over the past year and a half, almost 2 years since this pandemic began, I have seen this place that I would have been so proud to call home before create such disruption and separation and hatred amongst the individuals that live here. If you hop onto social media and you look at anyone posting about the mandate or about pro-vaccine or against vaccine or anywhere in between, the comments underneath it are literally full of hatred. Like hatred. It is awful. And to me, hatred is the furthest, I don't know if it's the furthest, but it's very, very far from love. And when we are separating human beings from each other, we are a pack animal in a sense. We love community. We thrive in being with each other. When we're separated from each other, we feel weaker. And when we feel weaker, we often reach out in a way that is trying to gain some power back. And when we do that, it is often through anger or through putting others down because we feel so weak inside, we need to lash out at others. But I'll tell you what, an individual who is completely anchored and grounded in their truth, their power, their wisdom, their well-being, their health, their wealth, their like who they are, they don't need to lash out at others. They don't need to call people out. They don't need to stand up and make a fuss. They don't need to yell and scream and shout at the top of the rooftops. Sometimes, yes, but not all the time. And so when you see individuals that are lashing out with so much hatred, that's coming from weakness inside. It's coming from sadness. It's coming from feeling isolated and alone and misunderstood. And it's happening on both ends. On the people that are supporting the mandate and the double vaccinations because they want their families to be safe, because they're terrified of COVID, because they want this all to be over, that's coming from a place of fear. And the individuals that believe that the vaccine perhaps is not right for their body or not right for anybody, or that these mandates are awful, again, it's coming from a place of fear. So, what we need to do as a collective and as an individual is to come back home to our power, come back home to our truth. And it's for this reason that I have chosen for the next 30-ish days or so, there's 3 things that I'm committing to that I know are going to make a drastic change in the way that I anchor into my truth and my power. And I'm doing this because I know, and I hope that you know this too, when we are anchored in our truth and power, we have a much greater impact and influence on others in the way of love. We embody love, we radiate love, we express love in everything that we say. Every picture we post on social media is the imprint of love made manifest. Every word that we speak to others comes from a place of pureness and divinity and love. That's where we need to be coming from. That's where our science needs to be coming from. That's where our healthcare needs to be coming from. That's where the foods that we eat need to be coming from. And unfortunately, as a society, we're not there yet. I saw this incredible post that said, like, let me see if I can remember it. It was on Instagram, and someone said, can you imagine if the government handled this pandemic by shutting down all liquor stores and shutting down all sales of tobacco, shutting down every fast food restaurant, and only allowing people to buy actual whole foods, like real food, so it's actually nourishing their digestive system, that their immunity is rising, that they suggest everybody get outside for at least an hour a day to get vitamin D. If they were to ship vitamin D and different supplements to people's houses free of cost to get their immunity up, so that if they were to contract some sort of illness, perhaps COVID, perhaps something else, that they have more strength in their body to handle it. But instead, we live in a world that we exist from a place of, it's not healthcare, it's sick care. We have an amazing system of trying to manage things once we have a problem, but we are not proactive. We do not talk about how we need to be healthier. We do not talk about how we can support our immune system. We do not talk about the fact that exercise is one of the greatest ways to keep blood flowing through your body, to help you release anger, frustration. Anytime we have any like stress or mental fog or these pieces coming in, we need to be moving our bodies to help release that. But instead, the government shut down fitness centers and said you're no longer able to work out because you might breathe heavy and you might contract this airborne disease. I get what they're trying to do. I understand parts of it, but I believe that things have been gone about in a completely wrong way. Because as soon as you bring people into a state of fear, separation. It's now me against them. It's now me against that disease, or it's me against those who have the disease, or me against those who don't believe that this disease is as bad as I think it is. It's separation. And we need to come together. I don't know if you remember, but earlier this year, I talked so much about unity consciousness, unity, unity, unity. And that's why I started my program, Intuitive Influencers, this amazing year-long experience for female leaders and entrepreneurs to be in community together for a year. Unity is what we need. Separation is what we're being fed. I'm going to say that again. Unity is what we need. Separation is what we're being fed. Take a moment to release your own thoughts or beliefs around this pandemic, around COVID itself, and just notice. How many different ways have you been forced to no longer be with those that you love? How many times have you been told at the hospital you cannot go in even though your child or your partner or your loved one is in there, that you can't be with them? How many times have you been forced to cover your face so that you're unrecognizable to other human beings? I understand why they're doing this from the scientific perspective, but take a look at what's happening for mental health and emotional health. Take a look at what is occurring, the psychological trauma that is occurring. There's teenagers that aren't even allowed to go to school or to go out to the bar to meet people unless they have a vaccine. That is forcing them to take an action that maybe they don't have the awareness to be able to actually be able to do their own research. I think you understand where I'm coming from. And if you don't, that's okay. If you don't understand, if you have completely different views, I honor you. I respect you. That's okay. You're allowed and entitled to have your opinion, to have your beliefs, to have your awareness. My request is that we honor each other in love, that we honor that we're coming from different perspectives, that we have different histories, we have different experiences with this entire pandemic. And if we can come to a place of compassion and love for all, knowing that choice is one of the privileges that we have here as Canadians, as North Americans for the most part. And why are we allowing that to be taken away from us? Why is that okay? Because of fear that we might get sick, or we might get someone sick, or that someone we know might pass. I don't want anyone that you know to pass. However, death is not the worst thing in the world. When we are born, we die. We know that. It is a given. It is not a question mark. We, you and I, all of us are going to die. What if it's not the worst thing? What if it's actually the most incredible experience any of us have ever had? What if we don't have so much fear around the loss of someone, because that loss is actually just because we feel inadequate without them? We feel sad that we no longer have them in the physical form. Yes, grief is hard. I've been through it. Trust me. It's a part of being human. But can we stop doing everything in our humanly power to keep people alive without even giving them life? Do you know what I mean? Like how many of you have grandparents or parents that they might not actually want to be here, but their bodies are so healthy that they're still here? I remember my granny before she passed for months and months telling me, Dee, like, I'm done. This is not fun for me. I've been in this nursing home for how many years? Everything is just taken care of for me. I don't have any purpose to be here anymore. I've gone through all my photo albums a million times. I watch these TV shows and I can barely see anything. I listen to audiobooks. I can barely hear anything. Like, we're keeping people alive, but for what? Where's the life? Where's the aliveness? Where's the zest, the energy? If this conversation is really triggering you, I love you. Let yourself be triggered. Let yourself feel the trigger inside. Let yourself be angry at me if you need to. But allow it to come out in a way so that it's healing. So don't direct the anger directly at me. Direct it into the earth, into the world. Allow the anger to release from you. Allow the irritation to release. Move your body. Shake it out. Yell into a pillow. I am just here speaking the truth that is for me. And if that triggers you, it is a gift. Just the same way that everything that triggers me is a gift as well. So please, I ask you, regardless of where you're at, regardless of how you feel around this topic, find your way to love, because that is what this is about. That is why I'm having this conversation. That is why I'm speaking this way. We need to embody love. We are love. We need to remember who we are. And so coming back to the 3 things that I'm going to do, the 3 ways that I am ensuring that I'm in my truth and my power. 1, I'm taking a break from social media. It's a very challenging thing for me because my entire business is on social media. And through the work I've done in my course, Embodied Abundance, I know that my business can thrive, not just survive, it can thrive even if I'm not on social media every single day. I know that it can, because I know that the goodness that comes in, the financial support, the beautiful new clients, the connections with others, that all comes not because of my awareness and my presence on social media, but because of my consciousness and the awareness and connection between soul to soul. That's all. So I'm releasing social media for probably about a month until mid-October, when I have something very special to offer to you. It's going to be a really special training called The Abundant Woman. And that name might change, but right now it's called The Abundant Woman. I'm going to walk you through some really incredible transformational practices that you can implement in your life to step more into embodying the abundance of who you are. Anyways, that's coming up mid-October. So I'm taking a break from social media. I have created a incognito profile for myself for Facebook, so that I can, because I have multiple different Facebook groups that I'm running because of the different intuitive influencers, empowerment coaching certification, embodied abundance. I have these different groups that I'm a part of, as well as a couple that I'm a student in as well. So I will be in those groups with my incognito special Sweet D Facebook. So that way I can still engage with my clients. I can still engage with the ways that I need to, but I'm going to just let go of everything else. Let go of the noise. Let go of what's going on over there. Let go of what's going on in the world. Let go of seeing the hatred. I'm letting it go. I'm gone from Instagram, gone from general Facebook. No, they're so managed by those who are supporting the narrative of what's being said right now that I'm out. I'll be back, but I'm going to take a break. So that's going to allow me so much more space, because I've also noticed that I'm reaching for social media. I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I wonder what's happening on Facebook. I wonder what's on Instagram. I should post something. And I notice I use that voice because it annoys me that I do this. I'm finding my peace and love with it. But I'm definitely using it as kind of like a crutch or a clutch right now. So stepping away from that. That's one. Two, I am stepping into a new cleanse. Now, if you've been hanging out with me for a while, you know that in January of this year, I started the most amazing cleanse called the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation with a beautiful company called Purium, where all products are organic. Everything is so ethically sourced. Honestly, I don't think I've ever found a company that I believe so wholeheartedly in their mission and who they are and the products they create. If you're watching the video, this here is my beautiful shaker bottle. You've probably seen it on my social media. So I'm going to be doing that cleanse. The Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation is usually 30 days, and it's really about healing out your digestive system, releasing all the toxins from all the crap food. I've been indulging in some crap food recently. So really healing those parts of your body so that you can be digesting life from a much more higher frequency. Plus, as soon as we pour more fresh fruits and vegetables and organic, natural goodness, which I eat generally, but bringing more of that into your body, your vibration just rises naturally because that's how our body is meant to thrive. So for about 30 days, I might do it a little bit shorter. I'm going to be doing this cleanse, which means like no caffeine, no meat, no dairy, no regular bread unless it's sprouted whole grain bread. Primarily just eating brown rice, lots of vegetables, no soy, so no tofu or anything, using a lot of nuts for my proteins. I still will be having eggs, even though I'll be primarily vegan. I'm still going to eat eggs. I get really delicious eggs that are from the like happiest, beautiful chickens, and the eggs taste so good. You can just like taste the happiness in the chicken. Sorry if you are vegan and don't eat eggs, but I love them so much. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing, drinking tons of water, stepping into a lot of meditation, a lot of daily embodiment work. So that's going to be my cleanse. And then the third thing that I'm going to do is I am stepping into my course, Embodied Abundance, as a student again. So this course I created from a journey that I had myself. And in the course, I actually guide you through the whole process, but I'm stepping into it as a student. So this morning I watched the very first module and I wrote out all my affirmations. I got crystal clear. I went through my own meditation. It's funny listening to yourself, guide yourself through a visualization and meditation. And it was powerful. And I could feel the Reiki energy from me months ago when I recorded it to me now. It was really cool. So I'm going to be doing that. So that means that every single morning and every single night, I am following through with the beautiful embodiment practices that come with the course Embodied Abundance, which I will be sharing more about that in October. So if you're like, hey, Dee, I want some of this, just hang out with me until October and I will give you all of the details then. You can definitely be a part of it. But so I'm diving into that as well, which is a really strong daily commitment for a minimum of 40 days. And that's the third thing I'm doing. So stepping away from social media, coming into a beautiful organic cleanse and detoxification of my body and my mind, and then coming into Embodied Abundance as a student to really step fully into expanding my own consciousness, awareness, connection, a source of abundance, like financial flow coming in, financial flow going out through charities and sharing with other female entrepreneurs. This is what my life is here for. And I know that by committing to all three of these, again, I'm going to come into my truth and my power. I also know I have more space and time. So I'm likely going to be going for more walks with Dixie outside. I'll likely be going to more yoga classes and attending as many beautiful connections with sisters and brothers as much as I can, having beautiful potlucks because most of my friends are subscribe to the same cleanse as me, which means that we all eat fairly similar, which is really lovely to be able to bring a charcuterie plate and have it be all vegan and full of vegetables and fruits and delicious cashew cheeses, and everyone just devours it. Oh, I did one the other day. I'm going to tell you about it. So I boiled some beets and then I peeled them and then I sliced them all up and pickled them with vinegar and a little bit of sugar and some salt and pepper and things. I put anise and cinnamon in it. So I pickled those. Then I sauteed some zucchini. I got this really delicious sharp cheddar vegan cheese made out of cashews and then some gluten-free crackers and some grapes and some fresh basil and all of these delicious things, carrots and all the things. And I brought it to a little potluck we had and it was devoured. And trust me, my friends love their flavors. So I was really proud of myself for how nice of a spread I brought. But just like a reminder to you, in case you're curious, you don't have to you don't have to eat the way you've always eaten. If devouring cheese is something that you used to do, I used to do it too. You don't have to do it anymore. You can choose not to. You can choose to honor the cows instead of knowing that mama is being forced to get pregnant and baby's being taken away from mama basically as soon as she's born so that mama can make that milk so that you can drink that milk and eat that cheese. Ugh. Like, it doesn't feel good. And when we think about being in the embodiment of love, to me, that's not loving mama cow. And we want to love mama cow. Oh, yeah. I'm really looking forward to stepping away from the chaos that has been all around. It's been a lot. And I know you, as likely an empath like I am, you've been feeling it too. And this is our chance to take a step back from it, to honor who we are, to come back to our truth and our power, and to live and breathe and share from that place, you know? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So I'd love to know if you're doing anything for yourself this September, if you're coming into a cleanse, if you're taking a little social media detox, if you're diving into a new course, or maybe you're working with a new coach, or you're committed to having a massage once a week, or whatever it might be. I would love to know what you're doing to be in your truth and your power. I would love to know what you're committed to. So if you want to comment underneath this video or share with me on Facebook, I mean, I probably won't be able to see it because I'll be on a social detox. But if you want to send me a Facebook message, I will still have my messenger there because sometimes I communicate with my clients. So you can always send me a message there. I love you so much. And while I'm taking this little break, I will likely be doing more podcasts. So keep checking back here for more conversation like this. I'm going to be sharing a little bit of what this sort of like cleanse and detox has been like for me, what I'm receiving from it, what's coming through, what my guidance is sharing with me to share with you. So come hang out with me. We're going to have some fun. I am sending you a lot of love, and I wish you well-being during this current chaos and overwhelm. You don't have to be overwhelmed. You don't have to find it chaotic. You don't have to do anything. You can be in pure embodiment of love and have it not affect you at all. Regardless of your stance of whether you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, that doesn't even have to matter to you. You can simply choose to be in the embodiment of love. And I invite you to try that. See what it feels like. And I love you. Take care.